rotate it this way. Add a little bit more. I guess I'll keep the penny there for scale. And let's get back to work. Oh, hello, Cataphracty. I kind of want to start doing the fate. Because I was just doing some really high detail stuff, and I think while my brain's still in that mood, it might be better to ride that wave. Try to do the face. I'm going to try to get this camera in a slightly better position. Is a little too tilted. I just want. No. Okay. So yeah, let's do this face, huh? Faces are very difficult things to do. I don't have a lot of experience with faces either, but the first faces I did, you know, when you paint for a while, you learn how to do them and get them done. Once again, those black spots on his head were still showing, so I want to make sure I clean those up first. Which I tried to do earlier, but it didn't really work. That's Gorthur Brown. We'll talk about the colors for my face technique. I paint the darkest color Gorthur Brown. Makes him look like African American, but he's not. He's going to be a white guy because he is Raven Guard, and they're pretty pasty and pale. I just want to have that contrast. I'm going to start lighting with a Kislev flesh. And that's going to get the next tone up. Areas like the lips and under the eyes and blush colors, I'm going to use Cadian flesh tone. And then, if I can find it here, the lighter color is going to be Flayed 1 flesh. And then, at the lightest, most speculary points, I'm going to be using White Scar. So that's 5 colors for the face. Now, guess we should begin. So we'll start with the Gorthur Brown, and I actually need to move these. My arm's going to be there. Nice. All right. So I'm going to start with here and just clean up those spots on the head. When I put a lighter color, it's going to have trouble permeating a darker color. So, I don't know if you guys can even see this, but it's been driving me nuts since it happened. Had like black spot there. Got cancer or something like. And that. And then the face is actually a lot more complex. There's these metal cybernetic pieces. How I began before base painting it was I actually just like blotted the eyes white. And then I carefully painted around it with the base color to leave the white in there. Now the left eye that's turned into the inside, I think there's a little bit of white below it. Yeah, and I'm gonna attempt. Oh, look at the front of that melt-a-barrel I just did. Look how cool that. Oh, all right. So I'm going to attempt to clean up the inside of the eye. This might be off camera a bit. Wait. Cool. I guess that's close enough. Once again, nobody's gonna see that shit. And under the nose, is there a little bit of white? Maybe that's just specular. Okay. And then, and you can see on the corner of his eye over there. Is that specular as well, or is that white? No, that's actually white. Get a little more paint. Clean that up. I want it to look good in a... right on inside. Inside of the nose. That's okay. You can still kind of see it. It's like so glaring this close. But remember, any eyeball. I don't know who has a bigger eyeball, Lincoln or my guy. I think Lincoln has a bigger frickin' head than this thing. So, I'm just gonna try it. My biggest worry is that if I get brown into his iris, I have to do it again. I have to go over it with white, refine it. So, you know, take a deep breath. I did this. Cool. I think that did it. Man, I want to work under this camera all the time. So, my next step then is Kislev flesh. This is the more beige of the two main flesh tones. As opposed to the Cadian, which is a lot more red. So this is the Cadian, and this is the Kislev. Cadian, you'll see, this one you'll see me use on lips, blush, cheek area, and the Kislev you'll see me use like everywhere. So, I'll get out my wet palette for this, because faces are, you know, detail-y. There. I'm gonna water down my brush. Paint. Okay, and then let's start applying. Now, my model is lit from this side. The light is coming in this way. So, we're of course going to start by putting over here. See, it's not running properly. Has a pretty dark shadow from his armor there. Faces are stressful. I'm gonna shut up for a minute. That's just stressing me out. whenever you use a color, to get it up to the full intensity of that color at any point. I mean, you will have your blending. You don't want it to be the same color all the way around. Make sure you get that full intensity color. When your next color goes on top of it, you don't want that blending into this color and not color under that. That's starting to take shape there a little bit. Even two colors anywhere. Wow, just the difference that makes in model. Get the 2 colors per color, man. You have so much control in dictating, how the model is read. Yeah, I could pick out crease in his forehead there, his brow with the dark color. A little more paint. Palette. Alright. Road this way. Side of the road. Color. Oh. Really tough. I didn't have to make it this difficult, so I didn't do them all together. Actually have full access to the case. But kind of nice to work with how the light can read. Getting in face, getting down in there. This man had a smaller head than Abraham Lincoln, but he was in charge in front of an entire legion of space marines. I think that's a good start to the first. Start bringing that in. Yeah, I want to put a little more color. Just look the color. Cool. It is kind of shadowy in there. Yeah. Under the lip. Under his nose. I want to get his chin. I want his chin to be lit. Hands out. He doesn't look up of jaw. How do I maneuver? Brush. Yeah, baby. That's looking good. Alright, that looks like a good first coat. You can see I got the chin to stand out. Maybe to the right of the nose, use a little color. The left side I'm not to stress out about. That's very shaded and dark there. Would like mark here. Considering this isn't one of the brightest colors in the face. Gloriously pale. Right. Now, is that a scar on his face? Like he has a scar there? What is that? Okay, first color done. That already looks like I could stop there and call it done, right? But nope. I will not. I have more colors to do on this. That was Kislev flesh. The next color, which actually is like one of the most important colors I've found, is this Cadian flesh tone. It's redder. You can see if you look at, see how there's red, maybe under the eyes, lips. I don't want to have red lips because he's not wearing lipstick. He's a frickin' dude. And he's a warrior, not a frickin' Barbie doll. So I don't want to have red lips, you know. I just use this reddish tone. And I actually have another color I totally forgot to talk about that I did on my last lips, which I totally forgot about. But, same thing. You can see the color difference there, that reddish color. This is going to go under the eye. I want to go on the cheeks. Gonna go around the lip. Might even bring some back here because of the lighting. Top of the head. Maybe around all these cybernetic parts. Kind of show like that guard, you know, life to him. I'll water this down. Around these cybernetic pieces. Right. So that added a great amount of depth to it. It's very subtle, but it adds a great look. Now let's move along. The next color is Blade 1 Flesh. This is the lightest of tones, and you could look at my pasty ass. You can see that it's kind of on point. But before I do that, I actually do want to complete these lips. You know, make them a little more, little redder. A little redder, and I'm going to do a custom mix. This is Tuskor fur. It's a pretty drab red. I'm going to take a little bit of that and put it in my palette. Here. And I'm going to take the Cadian flesh tone again. I'm going to mix them to make a lighter version, but also a redder version. Just isn't available anywhere, and even that is too red still. That looked like, you know, not quite the amount that I want. More. I think that's pretty good. Water down my brush. Pick it up. Put that on the lips just to give them their own. Now there's the crease in between the lips. What I'm going to do for that is I'm going to use Great Tuskor. And I'm going to water it down and apply it like a wash. And it'll just fall into the... gonna fall into the crevasse there. To define inside of the lip. There. So when I water it down, it sits in there, it collects in the crease. And yeah. You know what's really bothering me about this model is that frickin' like he looks like a member of KISS with that light on his nose. That is driving me nuts. That has to go. So we're gonna back up the Cadian flesh, the Kislev flesh, and just let it in a little bit so it doesn't look like a frickin' clown. Yeah, look how he looked like a frickin' whatever their names are, those wild rock stars. You know what? I'll just use this color, because I have another color coming in on top. So, I'm not worried about it. Even though that doesn't look right now, it looks very flat. It'll look good when it last colors on top. Top of the lip. Right. Again, I'm happy to come back to this color again. There. You can see that Cadian tone around these bits here. Kind of getting that, you know, scar look. In fact, I'm going to go back and do the same thing with the Tuskor fur. Water it down. Get a nice watered down Tuskor fur. The same thing. Same thing. Oh, fuck. Welcome to Miniature Painting. Where, ah, shit. Yeah, that looks great. Then maybe a little more. Cool. Nice. Nice. Drink a little Coca-Cola. Loosen out a little bit. That was stressful. My muscles tighten up. At cards, but you know that's what I live. That's why I'm a miniature painter. You can too. So next, the blade one. What? He's not quite a flayed one. I would think you'd be insulted if you told him that. But it's a great color for colored skin. So, you know, put it on the brush, water it down, especially when we're blending. We want a very watered down version first. A watered down version is not going to make a huge mistake anywhere. We're going to start applying this to the highlight areas. Start in the back, the head. The light is hitting. And going to work our way around. You already see that quite more depth, but there's more. There's more. And this is where I have artistic freedom, even though I'm pretty strict about my light source. I do want to highlight areas like his cheekbone here. Nose. Start lightening those up. And really get back the head brightened up. That most light is, and if I can brighten this up more, that'll make that artistic vision to that part that I normally wouldn't like that way. Cool. Now, this is another tough part. Today, we're going to talk about pupils. Sometimes your models have eyes. They have. Probably should have done it before I did the eyes. But I do want to do a pupil in there. Actually don't really like that dark color under the eye. I kind of want to clean that up. Don't like the fact that he looks like he's wearing mascara, you know? Like he's freaking RuPaul or something. So I'm going to clean that up. And I'm going to use the Cadian flesh tone, the red color. Now it doesn't look like he's wearing mascara. Looks a lot manlier already. Just way manlier. Then where else can we use some of this Indian flesh tone to? Here. That looks better. It looks like he had freaking eyeliner on. So, way better. Now he looked way dude, man. Much more dude, man. Alright, so pupils. I wonder if I have a good brush available, or if I'll have to make one for this process. Well, let's look at some brushes here. I'm really nervous about doing this. Oh, I found one. This is perfect. And I will have to like zoom in this camera all the way so you can understand what I'm saying. So this brush, let me take it out of its bag. but it has the quality I'm looking in for this part of the job. Oh my god, get out of the plastic. Vacate yourself from the plastic. If you brush, I will acquisition you for my needs. This brush, it has that one hair, which usually drives me nuts. I hate that hair. But I have a brand new brush here. It has this one hair that just sticks out front. Get that thing. See that? Yeah. I'm gonna use that. Keep in mind, this is my penny. Abe Lincoln has a bigger eye. I need to dot a pupil. I don't do irises and the color, I just do one dot of like a gray, not a black, because I'm just not that good of a painter. But I'm gonna put a dot on his eye. And I'm gonna use Eshin Gray, which isn't black, can be very door looking. This is subtle enough. Alright, good. No. Deep breath. That one hair might be so small that the paint already dried on it. Hang on. Where'd my paint on this? It happens to me. This is the funniest thing ever. Losing your paint on palette like mine. Watered a little bit. Hopefully not too watered down to the point where it'll run if I put it on. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. The most stressful thing I have to do in my life. Yeah. And I have to put it kind of off. Keep at it. You know what? That one hair, just you can't run paint off of one hair. You have to run it off two. Okay. Yeah, I should do am I gonna do the inside eye? I think that's gonna. Now he's a little derpy. I think I messed up the inside eye a little bit. That because there's yeah. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. Once again, these things are not worth stressing too much about it. I should have done it first before I did the rest of the coloring on the face, so I have to stress out it even more. But to clean that up, I got a little dot on his brow. That. I'm gonna get off this brush because these are new brushes. I haven't really used them that much, and I'm unfamiliar with them, so I don't like to be working out of my element that much to find detail things. But just kinda right up again. Cool. So pretty pasty. Pretty good. Now one more step, and that's white. Brass white to get that specular highlight. Just gonna give a lot of the color, like the material quality to yin. I have a very watered down white. I just wanna really get that in gleam to it. Maybe I'll even put a little bit at the cheek or on the chin. It's very good. So you can use this technique on any color. That like get like that white specular. Then once I got that bit, then I'm gonna go more hardcore white. Cool. Looking pretty good. I do want to clean it up a little bit. Like his eyebrow there, it kind of messed up. I want to blend that in a little better. Let's go back to my flayed one flesh. Kind of bring that back down. Just harsh. Very hard. Alright. That's basically it for the skin on the head. Turn this flashlight off. Or even lighting. That's the skin on the head. And back that up and you can see it reads from a distance, you know. You can see the details in there. But now I have all these cybernetics. Kind of a cyborg. So we're gonna do those now. After another minute break. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. But yeah, that's my face technique that I use for doing faces. It looks pretty good, as you can see. That look. Bro, I'm trying to figure out about that crease there. Yes. Oh, man. This crease. I don't know if that looked right that dark. Maybe I want to fill that in. Yeah, let's do that before I take my break. Let's take this Cadian flesh tone. The red one. The reddish flesh tone, not the light colors or more beige ones. This is the one towards the red end of the spectrum. We're gonna try to fill that in. Very watered down. I kind of want to keep some of that depth. Yeah, that's not as piercing anymore. I look natural. Okay, that didn't take long to fix. Little things like that, you know, you shouldn't laze out on. You could fix it to make them look less like a cross-dresser or a captain who wears mascara. Better, in my opinion. So, I'll be back in 2 minutes, and you can admire my Space Marine Captain. I'll be back in a minute. I am returning to you to finish off this head, and then we'll get back to the gun. And, it's good to stand up, walk around a little bit, move those muscles, because you could practically fall asleep when you're moving your hand an inch at a time. I'm going to refill up my soda pop. It's good to stay hydrated while you're working. Oh, sorry, Captain, I didn't mean to get away. See, how many viewers do we have? Not that many. You guys have any questions or technique or want to talk about painting or say hello? I'd like to hear from you guys, especially if you're painters and whatnot. I'm really interested in what you're working on, or what armies you have, or other things along those lines. So that skin looks really good at this point. I'm really happy with how that's turning out. You look at a model like this, he doesn't have skin. He has like eyeballs. Oh, but he has his hand. Same sort of thing. Start with a dark color and brighten it up and lighten it up. This model I thought was very complex. I found it to actually be very simple. This was a commission I did for my friend. I have to have it done by Saturday, and it just needs a base, but that's at home. So I'm going to base it and then put it on it. Then I'm going to get it back to him. Priest Dominus, which is cool. But now I'm working on my captain. Not my chapter master, but the captain. Cataphracti captain. Cataphracti Terminator captain. Raven Guard, you can see he has plenty of Raven Guard symbols on him. His flag is, I don't know if you guys can read this here, but up there it says Victoris aut mortis, which means victory until death, which is from the Raven Guard sprue on Forge World. He has a chapter relic, the Raven's Fury jump pack, which is Kit Bash from Corvidae's jump pack I bought off eBay, which has Raven Guard iconography galore, and a big bird on the back. Then he has a chain fist for slicing through vehicles. and a combi melta, which we're gonna get to tonight. And then I guess after I finish the cybernetic parts on the head, the tech priest was a commission, yeah. It wasn't really, I didn't get paid, I traded. He bought the Death Watch set, and he gave me this figure from it, the Terminator with the heavy flamer, the power fist, and the multi-melter, which is exactly how I wanted to kit it. And I have such a backlog, I couldn't reason buying that kit for one model, so it actually worked out nicely, and I got it painted in a couple days. Yeah, a lot of, there's a Raven Guard symbol under there. Then one on the other shoulder pad. And, let's get back to work on it. Clear up my workspace. Put the model down. Just make sure your hands are clean so you don't smudge your model. I'm gonna sit here and rub paint off my fingers. Ash from my cigarette I just smoked. Beginner Sonic, do you play 40k or do anything with miniatures since you're here chatting? You could see tabletop distance. This guy's gonna look great. Gonna stand out and be distinctive. He already has a great silhouette with that backpack, which I just think looks so cool. I just attached it during this stream so I could like hold him and handle him with that backpack on there, which just looks killer. But yeah, I basically have to do the cybernetic parts, the gun body, and the blue flame effect for the jets, and his boots. But his boots I might wait to do until I have them glued to the base. And then I have to do the base, which I don't have with me, and I'm not going to do tonight. See kind of the metal quality. I don't like doing non-metallic metals. I like my metals to shine. You could see how they shine on this side where the light's hitting from. And on this side, they don't shine because there isn't supposed to be light there. Alright. Well, yeah, if you like video games, Warhammer 40k is a tabletop game. It's really fun. I enjoy it. But let's do these cybernetic parts on head here. Those little bits inside there. And make those stand out and look, quality small figures. Games Workshop is the highest quality figure you will get. And this is actually a new model that was made and released this year. And the quality on this is amazing. I'll use my comparison penny just to show you, just the little bits, the knobs. And there are even more detailed models. These guys are pretty, they're armored, so the armor's pretty clean and straightforward. Just some of the detail, like on that bird skull up there, and the armor. I don't know, it's just great. Oh, and there is another part. I have to do this elbow pad. I haven't done that. No, that elbow pad is just flat colored. But okay, let's get back to work. Now this figure is probably one of my worst ones I've done in a while. It's been the holidays. I've been working on this guy on and off for like a month, and I'm just trying to get him done, and it's really hard to break the pace. Like, I like to work a model straight through, and having to break because of Thanksgiving and all that, like, just so sloppy. I have much better quality stuff, but I'm starting to get back into it again. The face is a pretty good quality. I kind of botched the pupil a little bit. But, I'm happy with it. It's better than most stuff I see at the store, so, yeah, let's do these cybernetic parts here. So I'm gonna start by cleaning up the metals that kind of attach to the skull, like to the scalp. A lot of these little bands here. I'm gonna clean those up, and then that even should be metal, but it's not. Little divot there. I'll clean up the edges here, and we'll start there. So, brush, okay. Get some paints, okay. Water it down, okay, and let's get working. So, kinda cleaning off. Being careful not to get metal paint. Letting the model detail do my work for me. So letting the raised metal part do their job. Let me just run my brush over slightly to kind of, clean up those areas. And I actually need a light here to see. The paint blends and it sometimes disfigures like my perception of the shape, so I'm gonna sit here with the light, kind of play with the shadows to see what I'm looking at. I can see by moving the light, I can kind of see the shape. Otherwise, the paint makes it makes it difficult. Well, let's put this light here. And let's get back to applying my lead filter. This is one of the deepest metals, and it's a great base color for metal because you can always add many layers of highlight. Now, models are viewed from the top normally. You want to make sure that any of these sides of the metal, I'm not going to worry about looking at it from under it, but I want to make sure that any of the protrusions, when viewed from the top, are colored the right silver color. So take more paint. Now, very carefully. Cool. There you go. That looked much cleaner. The pieces are defined. Maybe right this corner here. Yeah. So I got that based. Now, let's let natural physics and viscosity do some work for me. This stuff is way stressful. I'm gonna take my Drakenhof Jade here. Drakenhof Nightshade. Grab a little bit of that. And what's nice about shades is they naturally fill into the cracks and the crevices, so all this stuff in here gonna fill in those edges. Pipe here. Or this stuff needs to run off. But let my well-developed industry of tools do my work. So that already adds a nice little bit of depth to it and distinction. I may want to go over it once more. Especially deep down there. Get cut off by the armor. Make sure that that is extra dark. I like using a blue shade for the metals. Has that kind of gunmetal blue, you know? Oh, battery level low. I guess our camera running out of battery. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna go yell at the tech monkey. Tech monkey! The battery level is low. Don't worry, guys. It's being fixed right now. Ba 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 ba. Hey, that thing makes a noise. Pretty cool. Aha! Thank you. That's fine. Alright, so that was fixed. We don't just do miniature painting here. We do a bunch of other stuff. We have a very professional setup, and as a miniature painter, I get to play with it today. So, not so bad. Now that's done. Now he has this little notch on the side of the arm. That little weird shape that looks like an hourglass. I don't want that to be metal. I want that to be painted. And I'll probably use the same color as his armor. Which is, you know, that color. So, I have to find that color. Because I custom mixed my own chapter color. Right here. So, I'm going to use that. Bottle is oozing at me. That up. Oh. Oh. Again, letting the model do the work for me. Getting raised. Kind of shiny, wet. But jar, that is. What is that? See how little. Cool. So that's gonna need to be highlighted. To look accented and stand out. I believe I use this color right here. Pattern Sand. Right out. No, this color. One of those. Now this part I can't always let the raised parts do the work for me. I actually have to be careful. And that looks great. I use usually 2 colors of highlight. The next color is Ushabi Bone, which adds, when watered down properly, just adds a nice little theme to it. Less watered down in the edge. Look. And now that looks very distinct. Then let's highlight this metal with my favorite Vallejo metal medium. This is a medium. I don't care. Meant to be mixed with other paints. I cannot find a brighter silver anywhere that just has the brilliance and the beauty as metal medium. It's like pure metal. And in a way where you guys can see the pen budding model a lot of the work. Oops, I just knocked over my light. Cool. And I think that's it for the head. That looks pretty good. Has that nice gleam and glare to it. Especially see it from the lit side, how just shiny that is. I see a little spot that can use some work. the base of where that tube connects into, down at the bottom there. And then this edge here. That wedge on the inside there was done. Cool. Now while I have the metal medium out, and this piece has been all glued together today, I'm just gonna do some work here to make this proper. Yep, this. Metalize that. Especially since I've been handling the model, it kind of loses its edging and things like that, you know. There. Cool. Way cool. So yeah, the head is done. That's a nice relief to have done. It looks rather dashing from a distance as well. Oh, and I haven't done... I don't know what color I want to do that belt buckle piece. I haven't decided on that either. But he's that just adds a lot of life to it. Yeah. The head is done. I even got the metal part here. Done. I'll zoom in on it so you can see. But all those little metal tidbits highlighted, his pupils. Now looking rather fancy. Very simple process. But it's just, you know, it's just being steady at the right moment, you know. There are times when you could actually be very sloppy. Like, I'm actually really not digging the front armor, how dark it gets over there. I might want to go in and do that now. Let's do that. Let's clean up this darkness. I just don't like how dark that gets for being a white plate. I want that to be more white-ish. But I'm not going to use white. I'm going to use Administratum Gray. Right here, which is the lighter of the mid-grays. And I'm going to just, instead of having this get so dark, I'll go down into this color here. get the white out and blend that in. I just... let's stick this a little bit. I just wasn't happy with how dark that got. Now let's take the white, blend that in. Is Verdict, you know, he's had a lot of work to do. It's the holidays. He's put a lot of effort into the stream recently. I mean, all year. And it's just kind of the end of the year. I think he's chilling and, you know, he's a little stressed out. He has some other stuff to take care of and, you know. But, I saw him today. He was stressed. But he's doing good. Expect us to come back next year. I mean, it's the holidays now. That's why I'm doing miniature painting. This isn't our normal agenda. Something to do. Keep you guys busy and keep us busy. Keep us busy, most importantly. So. Oh, Jake's been really busy with Shovel Knight stuff, I think. So you know, that's serious work. That's the stuff that keeps this studio open to pay the bills. Oh, that looked much better. How it's more white now. Doesn't go over as much, although oh man, see, my paintbrushes have this tool. A little glaring. But yeah, he's, you know, he's doing good. He's alive. He's not extremely crippled, but you know, we work in these studios, and, or he does mostly. I'm here, you know, once a week. Sometimes you'll see me here twice a week. But aside from that, a lot of the guys here put a lot of effort into doing a lot at once, and they all have a lot on their plates. They all, you know, 50 bazillion responsibilities here, and they all take care of it and work hard. And it's the end of the year, and everybody wants to do the holidays and chill out for a bit, but soon. Oh, cool. That's looking nice. Yeah, and he's got the cartoon shorts. He has some cartoon for Cartoon Network, I think. I saw an episode of it and his composition a while back, and it looked great. It was hilarious. And Dropbox is getting rid of public folders, I suppose. I don't use Dropbox, so I have no idea about the impact that's going to have on my life. I know Ben likes to use a lot of Dropbox. But, yeah, the guys here are busy, you know? I like to come around and help out, and sometimes I can take stress off them. I always seem to stress them out. You should have seen setting up today. It was intense. It was intense. But you know, they like the help. So I don't know what next. Man, look at that. Even from a distance, that head just looks like, you know, you could read where the eyes, you could read the nose, kind of see the cyborg parts. Like it reads, it's not just a flat skin color. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna zoom in once more before I move to a different part, but looking nice. And melt the gun up in the front. That barrel. You know. And slots there. I'm going to be working on that gun next. Focus. The body of that, it's going to be white. I was debating if I should redo these pads above the thigh and make those white. Like white thigh pad. But he has the white at the top. Now the white gun, the white there. He's a captain, so I like to use the white. Anybody who has more veteran status in the army is going to be more clad in white. It's pretty standard Space Marine thing. Just look how beefy he looks. Like he looks... I like that olive drab. That just industrial, like... The color I custom mixed was to match like an army can, like a World War II army can. And he is a frickin' can opener. So I thought he, just based on his like pure like utility and awesomeness, that I would clad him mostly in these colors. While my chapter master is gonna be mostly like white, like a pure little baby, an angel. This guy is more industrial, you know. Even has the caution stripes on his aim blade. Very industrial looking, but also regal and, you know, badass as all regard. But I will put this down for a minute to put him back on his stand. Stay on his stand. Why isn't he playing there? And put him into view here. And I'll be back in another minute. I gotta take these breaks or I can't do this. So, back in 2 minutes. Maybe I'll do a reverse view this time of the model. That's a nice shot. Whatever. I'll be back in a minute. Enjoy. Yeah.